Welcome back, everybody, to episode 2.5 of the Money Making Challenge. In today's video, I'll be giving you a full tutorial on setting up ComfyUI and using stable diffusion. I'll walk you through every step from installing the necessary programs that you will need, all the websites that you will have to go to, and explaining how checkpoints, LoRa's, and how the nodes work in ComfyUI. And all of this is geared towards one goal, helping you guys create your own pictures, coloring books, whatever you guys want to create. So grab a coffee, grab a snack, and let's dive right in. Alright, so we're going to go step by step on installing ComfyUI, installing checkpoints, LoRa's, whatever you guys need. I have deleted everything from my computer, so I'm just gonna go start to finish installing it back onto this computer so you guys could see the whole process of doing everything. Now, the first step of all this is basically just installing ComfyUI. So if you guys don't know where to get it from, you could Google ComfyUI. It is the first thing on GitHub. If not, I will leave the links below in the description, so you can just click and it'll bring you right there. So as you Google ComfyUI, you'll see the Comfy Anonymous, and it's gonna take you to this page right here. What you're gonna do is just scroll down, and you're gonna go to Windows Install. Now I'm only gonna show the Windows install. I do not have a Mac. I don't have an AMD graphics card. I don't have an Intel graphics card. I have an NVIDIA graphics card. So this is just gonna be simple, basic install just for Windows. So you're basically just gonna click it and it's gonna start downloading right here. It is 4 gigabytes, 5 gigabytes. And another thing is you're gonna need between about 12 to 20 gigabytes minimum for installing everything you're gonna need for this. So keep that in mind. You're gonna need about that much gigabytes of space. So if you don't have that, I recommend getting rid of some stuff so you do have that ready for to be installed. So once you downloaded that, it is a zip folder. Yours might not look like this. I do have WinZip. If you don't have that, it'll look like just a regular folder, just zipped. What I do is right click, cut. You could also use the Control X, whatever you guys want to do. And I've already created a folder in one of my hard drives for it, which is AI. And what I'm going to do is just paste that right in. And once we're in the folder that you want to be in, it's already in there. All you have to do is extract all, and we are just going to extract it in this folder. And as you can see, it is about 5 gigabytes just for this part. The checkpoints we're going to be installing is going to be a lot more. It's going to be 6 gigabytes, 7 gigabytes. And you're probably going to want more of those. So 6, 12, 18, maybe 3. It's going to be about 18 gigabytes. So just keep in mind, you are going to need a little bit of space on your hard drive for this. All right, so everything is installed for ComfyUI. Pretty simple, pretty easy. And you guys can run it if you want right now. So give it a test, run it, make sure everything works. And boom. It's going to open up a web browser, and it's also going to open up a command prompt right here in the bottom. So if you have this opened up, don't worry about it. It's what it's supposed to do. Now this is just the basic. You could do everything you want with this, but this next step I'm going to show you, you do not have to get. It's just something that's going to help the whole process out, make it a little bit easier, updating everything, finding stuff, and even refreshing the page so you don't have to exit out and reload everything. This program I'm going to show you just does it all for you. And I highly recommend getting this, and it is called ComfyUI Manager. As you can see, update, you could switch, you could restart everything, you could install nodes. As you learn more about ComfyUI, you'll learn all these other stuff with it, but I'm just going to show you the basics of this. What you're going to be using this for right now is for updating and restarting. And if you do want to learn more stuff about it, a lot of YouTubers, they will have ComfyUI Manager installed, so installing this, it'll just make things a lot easier for you guys. And how we're going to do that is we're going to need Git first. And whatever Windows setup you guys have, I have 64, so we're just gonna install that. Bring it up to this, install it, click yes, and So basically, you're just going to click next, and install it just like that. You don't have to worry about any of those other stuff. Just next, install. And there we go. Completed, finished installing. Just hit finish there. I'm not going to need that anymore. So we'll just go back to the GitHub of the ComfyUI manager here. And how we're going to install this is just going to be the manual way of doing things. So the first step of what you're going to want to do here is you're going to go click this green code button, and you're going to want to download zip. So we're going to go to our downloads. Now, since this is not a big file, you could just extract it in your downloads. Extract all. Extract all. We're going to open the file. Inside the file, we're just going to cut it. Go to our AI folder, our Comfy folder. And once we're here, click the ComfyUI, and we're going to find the custom nodes folder. Once we're in the custom nodes folder, just paste it right in. And then we will go back to the run NVIDIA. Now it's going to open up a command prompt right here. And basically it's just going to install all these dependencies for the manager. So let's give it a little bit of time. And there we go. It has installed. In the command prompt, it's probably going to tell you to press any key to continue. So just hit that and continue it until the ComfyUI program opens up in your web browser. And as you can see in the manager right here, you have right here, and we will be able to update ComfyUI, update all, and restart. So what we're going to do is just going to update it. Make sure everything's updated. All nodes are already up to date. Perfect. And there we go. Now we have ComfyUI Manager installed. Now this is not necessary. You don't have to install this, but I do highly recommend you guys get this. Okay, so now that we have everything installed, everything ready, now when you first open up ComfyUI, you're going to get this whole thing right here. And as you can see, everything is connected by nodes. Now, this is our checkpoint. You're not going to have any checkpoints installed right now. So how to get that is we are going to go to a website called CivitAI. And to figure out what checkpoints you're going to need is basically, what do you want to create? And for me, I want to create coloring books. So I am going to search coloring books right here. And it's going to bring you up a bunch of results for coloring books. And as you can see in the top left corner right here, you got checkpoint SD2, Stable Diffusion 2. You got embedding Stable Diffusion 1. You got LoRa XL. I like Stable Diffusion XL. So we're going to find one. Let's say I like this coloring book line art one. But this is a LoRa. So let's click it. And once we get in, it has a suggested resource as a checkpoint for XL. So what we're going to do is we're going to want to install this checkpoint first. Click this checkpoint, go down, click download here, and we're going to want to download this checkpoint. Just a quick tip for you guys. One of my mistakes I made, I just downloaded whatever, tried to make it work. I was downloading a Stable Diffusion XL LoRa for Stable Diffusion 1 checkpoint. It just wasn't working at all. So just be sure, if you're going to download a checkpoint, make sure any LoRa's you download, it will stick with the same platform of XL, or stick with the same platform as SD2, or stick with the same platform as SD1. The LoRa and the checkpoint have to be in the same base model. And as you can see, you got Stable Diffusion, you got Lustrous, you got Flux, you got Stable Diffusion 3, 3.5, Stable Diffusion XL, you got Pony, and there's a bunch of things you guys could experiment with, download, try out for yourself. But for right now, we're just gonna download one checkpoint and one LoRa just to show you guys how everything works. And there we go, it is downloaded. We go to our downloads, we are gonna cut this, and we're going to go back to our ComfyUI folder. So once you click this, we are going to find a folder called Models. We are going to click the Models folder, and we are going to go to Checkpoints. And we are going to put all of our checkpoints in this folder. And once we're back into our ComfyUI, all we had to do is reload the page. And as you can see here, we have our load checkpoint of our crystal clear XL. Now let's just mess around with just this alone, this checkpoint. And what I recommend doing first, I don't like it to save to my computer right away. So we are just going to right click, remove. We are going to double click, and we are going to search preview image. And all you need to do is connect the dots to images to get that preview image. And after you got that preview image, we are going to mess with this K sampler. I think this is already saved from my previous works. So what I recommend is 20. We go to, let's do 5, and let's do Euler A. And we are going to hit Q. And it's going to load everything, load it through the sampler, and it's going to give you a little preview here of what you typed in. And that is the crystal clear XL checkpoint, and it created this image for us. Now you can mess around with steps. You can go 30, let's go 7, and let's try a DPM adaptive. Now some of these sampler names are not going to work. You're going to come up with a picture that's distorted or something like that. Just try something new, try something different. The CFG is how much it takes your input here into the picture. So the higher CFG, more it's going to take from that prompt. And you don't want to go too high and you don't want to go too low, so you just have to find a middle point here. I usually do between 5 and 10, so I like 7 a lot. So let's do that, see what it comes up with. And that is the basic checkpoint of all this. After you're done messing with all the K-sampler stuff, this checkpoint, if you go back to the checkpoint you're at, if you go into the description here, it's going to have some basic stuff that you're going to want to type in your prompts. As you can see here, it has some features right here. Some of these checkpoints will give you optimized CFG, it'll give you optimized steps, it'll give you optimized samplers you could use. But this one, it doesn't really have an optimized one that you can use. So just experimenting all that stuff. But it does give you some key prompts that you can use for this checkpoint. And you're going to want to use these prompts into your pictures. What I really want to create is coloring books. So as you can see here, we have a coloring book line art LoRa that we're going to install right now. So what we're going to do is download that, cut this, go back to our AI folder, go back into our ComfyUI folder, go back to that models folder, and we are going to find the LoRa's folder right here. And all I have to do is paste that, go back into our ComfyUI, hit reload, and what we're going to do now is add a node. So what we're going to do is right click, add node, go to loaders, and we are going to do load LoRa. You could also double click and load LoRa. Right there, you can also do that as well. And it comes up with this. Now we just got to connect everything so it works. So I can see the model clip VAE, and we have a model clip here in the LoRa. So what we're going to do is go from the checkpoint model to the LoRa model. And we're going to go to this clip, and we're going to go to this clip to the LoRa. So we're just going to go from the checkpoint to the LoRa, and we're going to go to the LoRa to the sampler here, to the model, and we are going to go to the clip for the positive clip, and we are going to go here to the negative clip. Let's explain what these prompts are. So this top one, as you can see in the conditioning, the node goes to the positive, and this bottom prompt conditioning goes to the negative. And you could also change the colors to help you organize all this too. So positive, we'll do green, and we'll do negative, make it red, just to help you guys organize all this stuff. And as you can see, this LoRa has the coloring book line art, and let us click play and see what happens. Okay, so as you can see, we created this picture with this LoRa and this checkpoint. And this is not a picture that we want for a coloring book. So we're going to have to mess with the prompts here to get exactly what we want. Let's go back to the LoRa that we downloaded, and in the description here, the prompt model we could see black and white, line art, coloring of a drawing of what we want, and then we got white background and thick outlines. So what we could do right now is click black and white, line art, just copy this, go into our, let's clean this up a little bit, go into our prompt, and do black and white, we could do line art. Let's go back to this, white background, thick outlines. Go back to our prompt, type this. And as you can see right here, this little thing right here, line art, it says 0.6. That is what the strength of the LoRa needs to be set at. So if we go back into here, you can see the strength model. Let's do 0.6. Put that into our LoRa. And we have the prompts already put in, and let us hit Q and see what comes up. And we're slowly getting there. We're slowly getting there. So now what we could do is do negative prompts. We could add color. We could add gray. Let's do shadow. And let's see what it comes up with. Oh, we have purple in our prompt. We are going to want to delete that purple. So beautiful scenery, nature glass bottle, landscape, galaxy bottle. Okay. Now let's see what it comes up with. And there we go. We got a black and white picture. And there we go. We got a picture of a cat. We got the black and white. We got the line art, white background, thick outlines, coloring book style. I added that. Maybe let's just try it without the coloring book style. See what happens there. And this is what you're going to have to do. Mess with these prompts. Figure out what works for you. And that is a cat. Very simple. And what you could also do here is go back to that LoRa on ComfyUI where you downloaded it from. And you could scroll down here. And as you can see, there's a bunch of pictures here that people have done. And if you want to try to copy what they did, like this right here, they did black and white, line art, coloring drawing of Ariel, Disney, masterpiece. Let's just copy this whole thing and see if it creates what they created. And we can copy their negative prompts as well. We can put that in as well. Cue that up. There we go. You don't have to do Ariel. If you don't want to, we could go back to whatever you're doing, coloring drawing of, let's say, a cat. And you can just go back, find other people's work, see what prompts they use to add it to your prompts, and you just go from there. It's basically, you're just going to experiment with the prompts until you find something that you like. Alright, so increase the resolution of our pictures, we are going to want to find an upscaler. So if you go back here to filters and sorting, click upscaler, and we're going to download this first one right here. And this is going to upscale all your pictures that you create for you. So what we're going to do is download. And as you can see in the description here, how to install, we are going to rename this folder after we download it. And we are going to rename it to what it wants us to call it. Just like that, you're going to click yes, and it is renamed. Then we're going to cut this out, go back to our AI, go to our Comfy, and we are going to go straight to models again, and we are going to go to upscale models, and we're just going to paste it right in there. And we are going to go back to our ComfyUI. We are going to hit refresh, reload, so everything reloads in. And to make this upscaler work, you're going to need to add a couple things. So we're going to double click, type in upscaler, load upscale model, just like that. And we're going to click upscale image using model. So we're going to click the model. So what we're going to do here in the VAE decode is we're going to move this image node to this image node, just like that. We could delete that. And we can move this image node to this image node. And we hit play. And there you go. Picture of a cat, upscaled. Now you could right click, save it, nice upscaled picture of our cat. Once you're all done with this, I recommend saving your workflow. So you're just gonna go to workflow, you're gonna save as, and you're gonna say black and white. There you go. And it will save all of this to this black and white .json file. And you're all set. That is basically the basics of everything. You can get very technical about all this. You could add a bunch of stuff, but this is just the basics. This is your entry point to ComfyUI, your entry point to Stable Diffusion. So all I recommend is downloading different checkpoints, downloading different LoRa's, experimenting with a bunch of prompts. It's going to take you a while to find what you truly want. See what other people created, try to copy some of their prompts, add it to your prompts, add your negative prompts, and go create whatever you want to create. All right, bonus content. If you guys are creating coloring books, and if you guys do decide not to use ComfyUI, I did find a website that is called ColorifyAI.art, and it will create you some coloring book pages for you guys if you want to go this route as well. And this website does text to coloring page, photo to coloring pages, line art, colorizer. If you guys don't want to use any of the ComfyUI stuff, or if your computer isn't good enough to handle ComfyUI, you could also just use this Colorify.art. Try this out if you guys want to as well. And I want to thank you guys for watching. Please, if you guys enjoyed this tutorial of ComfyUI and Stable Diffusion, if you guys liked the video, please remember, hit that like button. Please subscribe. I'll be making more tutorials if you guys ask for them. And please follow my money making challenge that I'm doing right now on my channel. This will be part 2.5. And next week could be part 3. I'll be messing with Amazon ads, marketing, all that stuff for your coloring book too. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, guys.